Welcome to Glow Yoga and Wellness San Francisco. I am your host Natasha, Glow's founder, a yogi, a graduate of spiritual psychology, and a creator of a sustainable self-care program for graceful aging. In today's episode, I want to take another dive into our brain and its ability to influence our emotions, motivate us, and help us stay on task. In this day and age, when even our home speaker demands our attention, how can we improve our focus and not lose sight of what's important? Even though as a society our lives became so much more convenient, the widespread dissatisfaction and a lack of happiness is alarming. The industry of anti-depressants, Adderall, and sleeping pills is blooming like never before. While it's very easy to pop a pill, sniff a thing, pour a glass, and help us feel better, there is not one person whose brain has been fixed with a prescription medicine. I would like to emphasize the importance of using professional help for real mental health diagnosis and life-saving pharmaceuticals, and at the same time encourage all of us to implement daily self-care that can support and rewire our complex and always changing brain. I also want to mention a fun fact about all the external drugs. The only reason why any substances have any effect on our brain, it is because they mimic our own internal pharmacy. And some of the mind-altering substances have actually helped the scientists discover those internal neurotransmitters and better understand how our brain works. While there are over 100 of neurotransmitters that influence our mood and behavior, in this episode I'll start by talking about the first three that make or break our ability to pay attention, feel satisfaction, and stay motivated to participate in everyday life. Those molecules are dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin, made by our own brain incorporated. I'll also share the 7-step simple plan you can implement today to increase the amounts of dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin molecules to improve our attention, focus, and life's satisfaction. In the next episode, I'll cover oxytocin, beta-endorphins, nitric oxide, and anandamide. In the last 40 years since we developed SSRIs and other psychoactive drugs, we learned that targeting a few neurotransmitters cannot fix mental health and bring human brain to balance, in quotes. Our brain is extremely complex, and while the scientists still don't understand the exact ratios of all our molecules, we now know that is the presence of each one of them is what makes healthy and balanced emotions and well-functioning brain. Healthy, balanced brain is associated with both a unique cocktail of chemicals, neurotransmitters, and hormones, and also the brain waves, because our body operates on two levels. It's electrochemical, on energy and matter. E equals mc squared, the most famous Einstein's discovery. From matter, chemicals, we make energy, and energy in return transforms matter. Our cells are made of the physical matter, chemicals, and using those chemicals, our body generates energy, the electricity needed to run the whole system. We're like sophisticated, warm, and soft robots. Our brain generates its own energy patterns called brain waves. We now can measure. Scientists have defined 5 brain waves from the slowest to the fastest, called delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma, and that every brain wave influences how we feel and which particular molecule the body will produce. For instance, beta wave is dominant when we are stressed and actively engaged. And during that phase, the body creates molecules to stay awake and alert or to fight and flight. During the slowest waves, delta, alpha, and theta, our body produces dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, helping us be creative, feel good, and happy. The best way to get our brain to delta wave is to sleep. To theta or alpha is to meditate. Why is it important, you ask? It is important because for a healthy, balanced brain, we must do the activities to bring our brain into those different states to balance things out. Think of brain waves like nature seasons. In the summer, things are active, it's our beta active alert state. Delta could be a winter, it's time to sleep and repair, make memories. Think no sleep, no serotonin. We have to make time for every season in order to restore, generate new ideas, create memories, make new cells, and feel happy. Our brain runs the whole entire body using our nervous system, a complex communication system made up of tree-like cells called neurons. The particular brain waves define what molecules, as known as neurotransmitters, the brain will need to produce to help direct those electrical currents and neurons by connecting and disconnecting particular paths, influencing our behavior, emotions, and ultimately our survival. The molecules, as known as neurotransmitters, the chemicals, turn on and off our synapses, which define how we feel, our ability to sleep, to numb pain, to be alert, to connect with others, speak, solve problems, have memory, and do all the business of being alive. The first neurochemicals we're going to talk today about is dopamine. Dopamine is our champion neurotransmitter. It's our pleasure, energizing and motivating us, making us feel alive and excited for life. Dopamine is linked to the theta brainwaves. Pleasure releases dopamine. Emotional and physical pleasures from enjoying movement, physical touch, doing new things, achieving goals, exploring, feeling calm and safe, connected, being in love. Even thinking about pleasure can release dopamine. And vice versa, chronic pain and chronic stress depletes dopamine. In the following 7 steps, I'll give you the simple tools to stimulate dopamine production and feel energized, alive, and excited naturally. When we don't invest time into the activities that produce dopamine to feel pleasure from our daily life, we tend to seek easy buttons like shopping, binging on TV, eating, and self-medicating. The longer we use those easy buttons, the unhealthy pleasures, the more addictions we create, the less dopamine we can produce naturally. Most recreational, the external drugs, and mind-altering prescriptions deplete our natural dopamine production, and that is very dangerous and life-altering. Our addictions take over our whole life and can cause the inability to build a career, relationships, or reach our full potential. Every single mind-altering drug, including seemingly harmless ones like THC, will eventually deplete our brain's balance and our ability to sleep, concentrate, or regulate our emotions. Besides alcohol, food, sex, and TV addictions, Big Pharma today is responsible for a huge number of adults struggling with opioids and amphetamine addictions too. There is an interesting documentary you can see about addictions called Take Your Pills, which brings us to the internal molecule superdrug number 2, norepinephrine or noradrenaline. Norepinephrine is our wake-up, attention, focus neurotransmitter. It's associated with beta brain waves and is synthesized from dopamine. It released by our sympathetic nervous system, dilating our arteries and our breathing pathways to provide us with oxygen to stay alert and keep focus. It's our survival molecule, norepinephrine. It prevents us from getting drowsy and avoiding danger, adapting to stress. we need the dopamine for norepinephrine to be produced. So both dopamine plus norepinephrine amplify our focus and counteract our wandering mind. When we're deficient on both, we'll struggle with concentration and impulsiveness. We can even develop ADD, attention deficit, at any age. If you struggle with getting things done and impulsive behavior and lack of mental clarity, it's important to find the root cause of imbalanced norepinephrine. Remember that it is synthesized from dopamine, which can be depleted by these three things. All addictive behaviors like sex, video games, or even being a social media influencer chasing likes depletes dopamine. Second cause of dopamine depletion is substance abuse, like daily smoking, weed pens, drinking booze, or taking any pills. And the third is the lack of a 7-step self-care routine to produce those molecules by our own internal pharmacy, which I'll cover right after. We'll address the third super important neurochemical is serotonin. Serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitter, our satisfaction molecule. I want to cover it today too because it works with dopamine to balance our behavior, our mood, and physical hunger. It gives us the sense of euphoria and satisfaction from achieving our goals. Serotonin associated with alpha, theta, and delta waves, the slowest brain frequencies. Since discovering this molecule, the big pharmas made unimaginable amount of profits with SSRI, which can save lives but not treat the root cause of depression. An interesting fact that serotonin is similar to an external natural substance, psilocybin, that is found in over 200 species of mushrooms. 9,000 years ago, art found in northern Africa depict mushrooms as medicine of that time. In late 1950s, the Western world discovered magic mushrooms. Gordon Wasson, with his wife, went to Oaxaca, Mexico, where the local healer Maria Sabina introduced them to the ancient plant. Their later published essay in Life magazine described it as a potent stimulant that lets you explore the mysterious spiritual realm, and today the psilocybin is being used by the professionals as an alternative treatment for mental health and depression. Alright, now you have heard of those three neurochemicals, our internal drugs that our body produces, the dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. Those are the ones that make us feel excited, motivate us, help us pay attention, and complete our tasks. There are 7 proven steps that help us increase those three chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. Each of those 7 steps is essential and can make or break our brain chemistry. So please listen carefully and figure out an action plan on how you can implement all 7 in a simple way every day. First step is meditation and breathing exercises. According to science, are the most effective tools to produce all those 3 neurotransmitters. Think of this step as reducing mental overwhelm. The more often we tune out the outside stimulation through our eyes, the healthier our brain will become. Which meditation or breath work? It doesn't really matter as long as you do it, okay? As long as you close your eyes and breathe seriously. Sound baths, listening to slow and wordless music too. The thing to remember, every single time we reduce brain stimulation from the outside, we enter the alpha and theta brain states, which are the incubator environment for dopamine and serotonin production. In my yoga classes, I always offer students to close their eyes whenever possible, help our brain replenish those healthy neurotransmitters.
Taking slower pace yoga classes that include breath work are amazing for our brain's balance. I've added a few of my favorite breathwork episodes here. Scroll down to try some, and I'll leave a link to my breathwork book with 10 days of breathing exercises that had changed my life and made my meditation a breeze. So that was first step, meditation and breathing exercises, or think about spending time in alpha theta state. Second, daylight. Daylight is key to the neurotransmitters production. Make sure to take a daytime walk every single day and don't wait until the sun is down. Without the daylight, our brain will literally wilt like a plant without water. It can cause depression. When I was looking for Glow Yoga location, the skylights were a huge win, maximizing the benefits of daylight in our indoor classes. Don't you just love how bright and airy our classroom is? Working from home or choosing an office desk, it is definitely worth to negotiate for that window seat for your own mental health. Number 3, the step 3, is a steady sleep schedule that aligns with the sun cycle. There's something that we can learn from nature. The more our morning is aligned with the sunrise, the healthier our brain is. When we sleep deprived, our intricate brain's chemistry is disrupted. If your job requires you to work 9 hours, make sure that your sleep is still regular and you spend the maximum of your daylight hours outside to minimize the brain damage. Not having quality sleep or not spending enough of daylight hours outside throws off our intricate brain's balance. Step number 4, healthy gut and smart nutrition. Molecules are made of matter. When our gut is inflamed, it just cannot absorb the nutrients needed to create those essential neurotransmitters. Make sure to eat a spoon of raw kimchi every day, those healthy probiotics, and add some small wild-caught fish rich in omegas like sardines or nuts like walnuts if you're vegan into your weekly meals. Listen to my gut health episode. Every one of these 7 steps can make or break our ability to produce dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. Important stuff, guys. Step number 5, daily gratitude practice has direct effect on dopamine and serotonin production. It is so easy. When you wake up or go to bed, just repeat the words, thank you, 20 times. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then add 2 smallest things from your day to appreciate. The smaller your things are, the better your brain will become at experiencing joy from daily life. I like to think of putting my fluffy slippers on, enjoying a chat with a student before class, or smelling a spring bloom on my way home. Smallest beautiful things. Step number 6, doing new and healthy activities regularly brings us pleasure by increasing both dopamine and serotonin. When all we do for fun is watch TV and go to dinners, our brain will turn into a board raising. The richness of life comes from saying yes to the new experiences. Build one of these into your weekly routine. To go on a hike, explore the art galleries in your neighborhood, sign up for a painting class, go to a stand-up show, music show, live theater, join a macaroon making class, book a spa visit, attend an upcoming film festival, walk your neighbor's dog, simply get out of your house and go explore the world. My yearly kayaking and meditation weekend is coming up on June 23. Please check that out and say yes to a new and healthy activity. And the final step, step number 7, is daily exercise. Hello. I don't even have to tell you that. We need both daylight and exercise. So taking a daily walk is gold. Yoga class can replenish even more neurochemicals by getting you outside, moving, breathing, and making time to close the eyes, erase that overwhelm. Are you still procrastinating to leave your house for your daily movement? If so, please join my daily live mini workouts from your living room. I leave a link below. Literally, the best way to start your day. And we include almost all of those 7 steps mentioned above. We do breath work, gratitude practice, a sunrise wake up, and a sense of newness. No workout day is ever the same. This training is designed to build a sustainable self-care habits for graceful aging so we can all enjoy the gifts of this funny life to the fullest. Please join us. This is your invitation. Okay, to summarize what we've learned today about our ability to feel inspired, motivated, and help us get shit done. It's a cocktail of drugs made by our own brain. We can take external drugs and develop life-altering addictions, or we can turn on our internal pharmacy by balancing our sleep with activities that will make us feel high on our own supply. The intention behind recording this episode is to share with you my fascination with our incredible brain and maybe even inspire you to take better care of it. You see, I didn't talk about how to get things done because first and foremost, without balanced neurochemicals, we simply can't. And if we only focus on accomplishing tasks, we'll hit a dangerous burnout point. Implement the 7 steps into your daily life, restock your internal pharmacy, and with time, you'll find yourself cranking projects and inspiring yourself, your loved ones, and even your impassive cat will be impressed. If you want to see the 7-step list written, you can head to the episode webpage and print it out. You can also see my episode on the best time management skills below here if you need a time management tune-up ideas. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so proud of you for staying curious and learning new ways of taking loving care of what you have been given as a gift. Remember that healing is the application of loving and care to all the places that hurt, and the consistency is key. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave your 5-star review. Tell me what was the most interesting, and it will help others find this podcast and hopefully start feeling better. Sending you love, health, and peace from one and only San Francisco. Until next time.